All right, ladies and gentlemen, in front of me right now, luxury travel expert, Mary Pinedo. Welcome, and thank you so much for being here and sharing your feelings and results from the coaching program.
Thanks, Jay. It's always a pleasure. Mary Jo Pinedo, but we're close.
Where were you before working with me, Mary Jo?
Before getting started with your coaching program, we had a conversation. I was ready to relaunch the travel business after the pandemic, put everything on hold, and also had a business in real estate with vacation rentals and different properties. But I had switched to a company with a strong background that said I would get immediate results. And I invested a good amount into a sales program or a lead generation program. They said I'd get immediate results, and I wasn't seeing anything from either when we spoke.
And, at the time, obviously you invested into a funnel and, funnels are great, but as I mentioned to you, funnels don't sell, people sell. And
exactly.
If people don't know exactly what you do and how you help them, it's going to be challenging.
Yes.
So, you're a bit on the fence. You're like, do I really need this? I already invested. But after having a few conversations, you jumped. And what was your first experience and win? And how fast was the first win for you throughout this?
Well, our first experience with the group coaching was you told us to start doing lives every day. Right. And I was incredibly uncomfortable with that. I didn't think it was going to do anything. I thought, oh, this is just going to turn people away instead of make any interest. And then we're gonna
keep going. It's all good. This is real. Like,
got life going on.
This is how people know it's not actors,
Right. So anyway, so you talked to us in the group, and it was intimate group, and you said the first thing we have to do is start doing 30 days of lives. And I was incredibly intimidated because I don't do lives. I'm not comfortable in front of the camera. And I didn't think it would help me. I thought it would, scare people away or get some different. And that was the first win, was just the first experience of it was really fun. And it just kind of lightened up what I was trying to do and what I was trying to talk about. And within 3 days, we started talking about a trip that's coming up to Canada. And just because of that live, one of my clients called me and jumped right on board. So it was super effective within 3 days.
So within 3 days, we actually got some financial returns.
A big result, and a big momentum, a start of a motivation, of a snowball.
When sometimes, Mary Jo, with group coaching or even any kind of coaching, people feel like, it's not going to have that personable touch. They're going to think, well, I'm just going to be another run on the board, or I'm going to not be spoken to. How was your experience like with actually this group coaching? And maybe talk about also the intensity of 30 days, because sometimes people get scared about that. But talk to them about the personal touch, the hand holding, and maybe sort of the 30 days.
Well, you were really clear coming in what each session was going to be about. You defined that. And I kind of had that in my mind as an agenda. I didn't know anybody else that was going to be in the group. I'm very personable, so that would never intimidate me. But I didn't know how we were going to relate if we were in completely different industries. And the one thing that really did for me was that the personal work that you were doing applies to everything that we do in every business. So it wasn't even something that I had to cater or direct. You could talk to any one of us in the group, and we could apply that same method to our personal business, and it would have the same results. So that's a huge win from that.
So the moves that I gave you was obviously simple and easy to do, because sometimes people feel like with personal branding or something that they don't have any clue about, it's going to be too much and they're not going to be able to actually implement. So what was it like implementing these simple tactics and techniques?
Well, you gave us each class, which I loved. It was in the 3 classes in the middle of the week, then a little bit of a break, and then 3 classes the middle of the next week.
Right.
And or 3 hours, each time. And what it was able to do is each day we had a different action. We learned about ourselves. We learned what action for us to take, but they were same across the board. So it wasn't different methods for each person. It was the same method applied to your business, and it created different results. And the time intensity was what I needed. And what we talked about was I'm doing a lot of activity in my business, but it's not producing results. And what you taught me to do is you got to do the right activities directed in the right direction. And if you focus on those, then the results start to come quickly.
Mary Jo, there are some people that are going to be listening to this and might be on the fence. You know, they've just invested money into a program. They want to do it, but they're not sure if it's going to work for them. What would you tell the people out there, whether they're a coach in luxury, they're selling a bakery, they run a pen company? What would you say to them about jumping into working with me?
I would say to find a way to do it. I found a way. It wasn't easy. I was at the end of my working capital of, marketing or any directing. It really was not the time for me to start at all. And I have no regrets. It took time to out of my schedule that I didn't have, and I created that time, and it just really was worth it to go through with it.
And final question, what was I like to work with? Because there's a lot of people that can do it. A lot of people can, get to the results, but from being a coach to help you, what was I like to deal with?
I think you're incredibly personal, of course, with everybody. Yeah. So that brings a nice touch, a nice finesse to it, but you're also very down to earth with a high intensity and like way over the top. So some people may be intimidated, but you bring it to a level that is so relatable, and you just connect with the people that you work with, and makes it really something that we grow from, and you experience, and we experience that growth through you.
That's awesome. And Mary Jo, so that people know that you're not an actress from LA or a model from New York, yes, you are. But where can people learn more about you and what you do, and possibly maybe even do business with you?
Well, that'd be great. The best is through personal branding. So it's my first name, last name across all the socials, and it's MaryJoPinedo. That's the best way to reach out and get in touch.
Perfect. Mary Jo, thank you so much for being here.
Jay, thank you.